Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me today for yet another in our series of tips for success in working with realtors. I'm going to cover today the top 3 reasons why you should not use a friend or relative as your realtor. That may sound controversial, and it's not because we don't care about your family, but it really, at the end of the story, you will see why we really do. Okay, here we go. Number 1. What happens sometimes when we work with family, as a realtor, as a professional, even if it's any kind of field, what happens is the professional ends up getting emotionally involved as if they're the decision maker. One of the things that most successful, most important as a realtor is for us to keep in mind that we provide, you decide. We're not going to be paying your mortgage at the end of the day. The money of settlement comes to you to fuel your goals, to pay off your mortgage, whether you're buying or selling. It's your decision, it's your money. We are here to provide you services, outline options, negotiate for you, lay out the path for you, but ultimately it's always your decision. When you're working with a friend and relative, time and again when I talk to clients, and every week I hear the same story, different version, the family member or the friend ends up with very good intentions, getting very involved in the decision-making process. And at the end of the day, the clients that I speak to, it didn't work. It clouded the process for them. It sometimes got the principal parties, like with the couple, working at cross purposes. And that friend or family member is not who's going to be living in the house, is not who's going to be paying the mortgage, or is not who currently paying the mortgage and having to make the financial decisions about selling. So in a nutshell, with a professional, you need a little bit of professional detachment, you might call it, just as it might be awkward to go to a doctor who's a friend or relative, or seek advice from an attorney who's a friend or relative, which really leads me, if you can follow the logic, to the next critical point, number 2. And that is, at some point in the process, with your permission, we're going to have to tell you what you don't want to hear. That might be when it comes to negotiation, it might have to do with market values, it might have to do with any number of situations. We will ask questions, understand your goals and your desires, but as your trusted professional, we'll ask you to consider some information that may not be exactly how you want it to be, but you'll need to know, so we need to tell you. For a friend or relative, that can be very awkward because they don't want to offend you, hurt your feelings, or disappoint you. So having that professional detachment, as someone who cares, and I do take my clients to heart, but who cares, but who's professionally detached from the process, who's willing to tell you perhaps what you don't want to hear, but it's in your best interest. And the number 3 reason, the other 2 lead to it, you can guess, and this is what I learned time and again from talking to my clients every day, every week, is unfortunately at the end of the day, generally speaking, and more often than not, it ends up damaging the relationship, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of moving pieces to a real estate transaction, and somebody is often left with the feeling that the what ifs. Did they negotiate hard enough for me? Could I have asked for this? And those what ifs can haunt a personal relationship. Even in the best scenario where everyone does things right, it can damage a personal, close relationship because of mixing business with family. So those are my top 3 reasons why we suggest that you do, as you're considering doing here, interview an agent, set an appointment with us to meet a specialist, review the professional criteria, we'll go over your dreams, goals, objectives, and chart out a course for you to accomplish exactly what you have set out to accomplish. And be honest with you if the market is telling us that may not be possible. We'll give you a very honest appraisal. And look forward to meeting you. So, well, until the next video, take care.